wanted to, if you have any questions throughout this session, feel free to just pop those into the chat box, which is in the bottom right-hand corner. And then at the end of the brief presentation, we will get to all of those questions. So I'm going to pass it over to Vivian from Royal Roads to get started.
Thank you, Jennifer, and hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am really excited to share some information about Royal Roads University. As Jennifer said, my name is Vivian Trin, and I am an education specialist here at Royal Roads, and I'm also a proud alum of one of Royal Roads' master's programs. So let's get into this because there's quite a bit of information, and as Jennifer said, we'll keep it brief. So first, I'd like to start by acknowledging that Royal Roads is on the traditional lands of the Lekwungen-speaking peoples, the Songhees and Esquimalt First Nations. I am working from home today, but I'm not too far from campus, and there is not a day that goes by where I'm forever grateful to have this beautiful space and place to learn, work, and play with past, present, and future Indigenous and non-Indigenous students, faculty, and staff. As I go through my slide deck, you'll see real photos of Royal Roads, and you'll come to see that it is a really incredible place, and I hope you can one day at least experience the campus, whether as a student or a visitor. So about Royal Roads University, we are a relatively new university. We started in 1995, and we are a public university. Our teaching is very personable. We have a relatively small student body of about 5,000 students, and the majority of our students are actually in graduate studies. I'd say about 70% of our students are in graduate studies. Our learning is very focused on applied learning, so there's a lot of theory involved, but really being able to bridge the theory with real-world applications is essential in your learning experience at Royal Roads. And sustainability is a really big theme in all of our programs, whether you're studying business, leadership, tourism. We have a very strong sense of sustainable programming in everything we teach and learn. And we are also an Ashoka U Changemaker campus. This is a big part of our identity, and what that means is that we're part of a network of a global network of universities and colleges that have been recognized for their work in change-making, social innovation. And so we're really about creating leaders and innovators who are focused on making the world a better place. So why Royal Roads? Here's some of our alumni, what some of our alumni have to say, but essentially 93% of alumni say RRU has positively influenced their personal and professional lives. And this really speaks to our learning model. We do a lot of self-reflection in our learning in order to create a big transformation in your experience. And it's really important that you understand who you are in order to be successful in your career. And we also study in a cohort model. So you're studying with the same group of students from start to finish, which really builds a strong personal and professional network. Majority of our alumni feel they're very supported by staff and faculty, and this speaks to our small class sizes. On average, you'll see 20 to 35 students in a class, and that really attributes to strong connections and professors who know your name and classmates who will become colleagues and friends for the rest of your life. And 90% of alumni say Royal Roads has provided them with the tools and knowledge required for leadership in the workplace. And that's, once again, a lot of our applied learning focus. And we have a very personal and flexible approach to learning where you're really taking what you're learning in the classroom and applying it to real world challenges and stuff that you are dealing with in the workplace currently, or stuff that you're very interested as well. And 89% of our alumni say they have the tools and knowledge needed to be innovative in the workplace, which is also speaks to our change-making and social innovation identity. So if you haven't been to Victoria or you're not too familiar with where we are located on Vancouver Island, far, far west in Canada, a bit of a trek from Seneca, but we are on the tip of Vancouver Island, with Vancouver and Seattle being our closest major cities. Our population, we're a relatively smaller city with just over 400,000 people. And our top industries are advanced technology, tourism and hospitality and education. And a lot of the programs we deliver are quite linked to these top industries. And one of our Victoria's claim to fame is mildest climate in Canada. If you come from a warmer country, this might not mean that much to you. In Canada, you know, we don't get much snow, maybe just a couple of days of snow every year, with an average temperature of 6 degrees in the winter and mild summers with an average temperature of 25. And this is our inner harbor. We are the capital of British Columbia, so government is also a big industry here. And you know, we're a top tourist destination. So just some of the accolades we've received as a tourist destination, but also a really great place to live and work. So what's unique about Royal Roads, another unique thing about Royal Roads, is that a lot of our programs are delivered either on campus, online, or blended. Not all of our programs have all three options. So whichever one you decide to study, take a look at how it is delivered and if that's a suitable delivery method for you. Our online model is very strong. We actually started as an online university. So I mentioned we started in 1995. I'm not sure what the online learning was like back in 95, but today it's definitely evolved. It's a very robust and rich experience. It's a very reflective experience as well. You're given a bit more time to reflect on your posts and what your colleagues and your readings, what you're getting from your colleagues and your readings. But this is definitely the most flexible model for you. So if you have a lot of life commitments or you're unable to move to Victoria, this is a really good option for you. Most of the classes are delivered asynchronously, which means, you know, you log in at any time and you're going at your own pace. And if there is synchronous real-time learning, oftentimes that's optional and it'll be available to you either as a recording or resources afterwards, because we're dealing with students from all around the world in different time zones. Obviously, this one takes a bit more time management, but our online model is it's really designed for working professionals, for people who are still working full-time, and then you're committing about 15 to 20 hours a week to study online. We also have a handful of on-campus programs. This is where you get to study on our incredible campus and experience our facilities. We have great modern buildings, excellent technology, but we're also a historical heritage site. So we're a popular tourist destination as well. And here you get to live and work in Victoria and really be a part of that community. And then lastly, we have the blended model where you're primarily studying online, similar to our online programs, where you're dedicating about 15 to 20 hours a week, and it's very flexible. This is the model that I studied in. So I worked full-time while doing my master's, and then you come to campus once or twice, depending on the program you're in. And that's usually 1 to 2 weeks where you're immersed fully in your program. You're with your cohort, you're really developing those connections and diving really deep into those topics. And you'll have late nights working on projects, collaborating and doing some challenges and presentations. And we have dorms available for you to stay on campus and really connect with the campus and the people. So what do we teach? As a smaller institution, we're not a fully comprehensive university, which means we offer all this on business and social sciences. So if you're looking for engineering, medicine, that's not in our area of studies. We're business, communication, culture, education and technology, environment and sustainability, humanitarian studies, interdisciplinary studies, leadership, tourism and hospitality, and executive education like coaching. Before I go into our masters, I do want to note that we also have graduate certificates and diplomas. And so if you're not too sure if you are ready to commit fully to a graduate program, you can start off with a certificate, which is typically 3 to 9 months, depending on the program. And that can ladder into a diploma, which takes about a year or more. And then that can ladder into your master's. So you can exit if you feel like a certificate's enough, or you can continue on and leveling up to your master's. I know that Seneca has some graduate certificates as well. So if you're in one of those programs, there's an opportunity to request some transfer credit if you've applied and been accepted into our masters. So that's something you can potentially explore. So this is not a list of all of our master's programs. I just pulled some out after I took a look at the programs at Seneca. But as I mentioned, these are kind of in our areas of study in business and social sciences. Our master's programs are typically 1 to 2 years. Some can take a bit longer, but 12 months is kind of our shortest master's. That's a very condensed one, and that's in the Master of Global Management. As mentioned, not all of them are delivered in all 3 delivery models. So you need to take a look at which program suits you and also the delivery method. The ones that are delivered fully on campus are Master of Global Management, the MA in Intercultural and International Communication, our MA in Global Leadership, and our MA in Tourism Management, as well as our MA in Environment and Management. We also offer doctorate programs. So we have 2, the Doctor of Business Administration, Doctor of Social Sciences, if that's of interest to you in the future. So standard admissions into our master's program is typically a 4-year undergraduate degree or equivalent. And many of them do require work experience, usually about 2 years of professional work experience in the related field. So if you have, for example, a diploma, you can apply through flexible admissions if you have substantial work experience. So our flexible admissions policy, if you're not eligible for entrance through standard admission, we have a really great way of looking at our students holistically and really respecting that their work experience, their community work, some professional development that didn't necessarily happen in a college or a university. We take a look at all of that, and we think that that is also very valuable. So for those of you who might have completed a diploma but have worked as a manager for 7 years, let's say, you don't need to go back and upgrade for an undergraduate degree. You can explore flexible admissions, or perhaps your grades weren't really great in your undergraduate studies, but you've had a lot of work experience as well. We can take a look at that. We can take a look at your qualifications in that lens. And we do have a robust amount of student services available to students, but one of the main things that people ask is scholarships. So do explore our financial aid and awards website, where you can find information about our loans, bursaries, and scholarships. Our feature scholarship is the Royal Roads Entry Award or Bursary, which can be up to $10,000. And I do encourage all successful Royal Roads students who have been accepted into Royal Roads to apply for this one. It is a really great one that's available to all new Royal Roads students. And I will wrap it up there. If you would like to learn more about our programs, you can speak to our enrollment advisors. They can provide you more information about the various programs, or if you're kind of unsure which one's the right fit for you, you can speak to them, and they can also connect you to current students and alumni and potentially our faculty as well, if you'd like to dive a bit deeper into that.
Thank you. That was really informative, Vivian.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, so if there's any questions, please feel free to put those into the chat box. There is a little sort of like bubble out on the bottom right-hand corner. So just click on that, and then you can get your question in there. We'll give it, it is a very small group today, so we'll just give it a couple of minutes and see. I'm going to put that, the email address that you just had, I'm going to put that into the chat. Was it learn more at?
It's learn.more@royalroads.ca.
Okay. Someone is asking, what are the general PhD requirements?
That is a good question.
I think just like generally speaking.
Generally speaking, for our admissions is you typically need a master's degree in the related field. So just to clarify, our doctorate programs are not PhDs, they're doctorates. So you would, for example, get a DBA or DSOC-PSI, that would be your credential. And so that requires typically a master's degree, and I think normally about 10 years of work experience. So these programs are delivered on a blended format. And the reason behind our robust work experience requirements, even on our master's level, is that we believe that learning from your cohort, from your classmates, is also really essential in that experience as well. You're not just learning from your instructor.
Thank you. There's another question here. Do you have a master's program in supply chain management? And what's the average cost of a master's program at Royal Roads?
We don't have one specifically on supply chain management, but that is a strong component of our Master in Global Management program. So do take a look at that one. And that one is delivered, there's multiple options. You can do it in a condensed 12-month format all the way up to 18 months, and there's a blended or on-campus option. The average cost obviously depends. For domestic tuition, it's typically around $25,000 to like $30,000 for a master's program. That's the entirety of the program. And for international students, you're looking at about $37,000 to $40,000 for the entire program. But that's just off the top of my head. So do go on our website and you can get the exact fees.
Are there any additional things that an applicant can do to help enhance their application?
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing that I think is really great about our website is that when you go on the website, you can see there's a link for application requirements, and it is very detailed. That will break down, you need to submit a resume, for example, and what parts, and they will break down what key points they want to see in a resume, in your letter of intent. It breaks down like what you should highlight in your letter of intent. So it's just really important to refer to that one and really follow it. Make sure it's clear that you're addressing all the topics, even by just like making that title, in your application requirements, like, your education and just really list it out. Definitely for the resume, put in everything that is applicable, and you can also speak to our enrollment advisors to help walk you through all of that as well.
Perfect, thank you. Just looking in here, I'm not seeing any more questions coming through. But you've provided that email address, so learn.more@royalroads.ca, and I'm sure there's a ton of information on your website as well. And also just want to let students know that if you require any support at all during this process, you can always reach out to us in Academic Pathways. I'll put our email address there. We do appointments every week, and you can reach out if you have any questions or you need any support with anything. Yeah, so I'm not seeing any other questions, so I think we'll end it there. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. And for the students that are here, again, there's a ton of other sessions taking place this week. So if you want to go back to the event page, you can always register for another session that's happening. Yeah, so thanks so much, Vivian.
Thank you so much, Jennifer, and good luck with the rest of the week.
Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.